Good morning to you. Welcome back. You are still watching Morning Live, and now we get into an interview where we'll be talking squash now, which has predominantly in the past been seen as a sport for the rich and the privileged. But with changing times, we've seen more people start to show an interest in the sport. And as the participation numbers grow, so have the racial dynamics. We've seen these start to change. And this morning, we've invited a professional squash player who has excelled at youth level and now is making a name for herself with the seniors on the international stage. A good morning to you, Awande Malinga. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports and Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So I want to start this conversation by just speaking about how does a young Awande get into playing squash?
Yeah. So I started quite young. I started like when I was 6 years old. And luckily I got introduced by my dad. So he's literally been everything. He's been my coach, my manager. So he's helped me grow throughout the sport because he played and then he was able to teach me everything that he knows in the sport and just install it into me. So he's been a very great helping hand in my squash career.
And I love the relationship that you have with your dad, because I was just saying off air, your dad is like your driver, your manager, your coach, your dad, and he is just so supportive. How important is that level of support that you get from your family and putting you where you are, because you are the two-time former SA champion?
Yeah. It's super important. I mean, I'm so grateful to have both my parents in my life, for people to be so supportive, a family that loves me and takes care of me through everything. So I'm just so grateful that I have these opportunities that I've been given that they didn't even have. My parents haven't been overseas yet. I've been the only one in my family that's been overseas. So the fact that I have this opportunity to travel and play a sport and travel is crazy. So I'm just very grateful to them and the opportunities that they've given me.
It is crazy that you get all of these opportunities. Now in 2020, you almost had an opportunity to go to Egypt, which is seen as the best nation when it comes to squash players in the world. But obviously COVID happened. What would you say a nation like Egypt is getting right versus the ones that are still trying to catch up in terms of the quality of the game of squash?
One big thing I think is the hunger that the players have. The coaches are so invested, the players are so invested into improving their squash, not just on court but also mentally, and they have so much investment that is put into the players that they have the best coaches, they have the best facilities, they literally have everything that they need to be the best players, and that's the thing that, let's say, South Africa is lacking to have is that support. But one thing that I've seen when I went to go play, let's say in Singapore, is that these players are very hungry to win. They show tenacity to work hard and play hard. And that's the thing I think we're also lacking, which I'm also trying to build up in myself, because that's where I want to end up one day.
And I see you have brought your award here with you, your G Sports Award. And it's a beautiful one because you won the People's Choice Award. And I speak about this because we know that the G Sport nominations are now open until the 9th of August.
Yes.
How important is that power of recognition for you? I mean, especially with People's Choice, because these are people sitting at home and voting for Awande and saying Awande should be the People's Choice winner of this award. And how would you say your career has changed since getting this level of recognition?
I mean, before the award, I don't think anyone knew me in South Africa, and after winning this, I basically wasn't supposed to win the award in the first place because I got nominated for the School Sports Star of the Year, and I couldn't win that, but I had so many votes and so much love in South Africa that I ended up winning the Public Choice Award. So when I found out, I was like, wow, that's crazy that people in South Africa really love my story and are so invested into seeing my growth. In one, I'm just very grateful and thankful to the people of South Africa for voting for me. And the power of recognition is so important because it really showcases the talent that is shown in South Africa, and that there's so many people in South Africa that do have this talent that just needs to be shown out into the world. Not only me, I may be a case study, but there's so many more that need that opportunity to flourish in the world. So I think it's really important that we show recognition for all types of sports, women in sport, and bring up their name up into South Africa.
And speaking about those opportunities, I want to speak about an opportunity for you because you've got a scholarship to go study abroad in the US. Let's talk about that and speak to me about perhaps some of those financial challenges, because we know it's not easy being a squash player, the funds, where are they coming from, how can people get involved and help you elevate your career to the next level, and are you excited to go to the USA to study?
Yes, indeed. I'm very happy that I have this chance to now go overseas. First of all, I told myself last year that I am not going to stay in South Africa. I'm going to go show my name out in the world, and I'm going to go study overseas. And I took it upon myself, not my parents, not my coaches. I took it upon myself to say, I'm going to email all those coaches, and I'm going to get in contact with all of them, and then find a way to end up going overseas. And it happened. And I'm just so happy that I took that time to really find that opportunity to go overseas. And now that I do have the opportunity, it's almost a full scholarship, but it's just that trouble of not getting that full scholarship so that people can help me around the world to really see what else I can do, because the trouble is that my parents have to be the ones to pay for everything, but they've tried their best so far.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Awande Malinga, if you think you can do your part to help her in her journey, look for you, Awande Malinga. I'm sure that's your handle as well on your social media pages. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of South African squash, Awande Malinga, matriculated last year, and now she's going to the States to study on a scholarship.